and it's called the land of the brave. The whole world knows our name. One God and 50 states.
Hello, and welcome to the Woke is Broke podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Stanko, and let's get into it, shall we? So there's a video making the rounds right now. It's probably going to go viral before the end of the week, of a man at a school board meeting in Texas making some indirect threats towards parents who stand against critical race theory. Let's check that out.
I've got over 1,000 soldiers ready to go.
We're not the board. He's
What time to go? I don't care.
Yeah, we're the police.
My First Amendment rights. My First Amendment rights are here.
The board is in front of you. Not me. If you want to talk to me, I'd be happy to talk to you. You're not
would not
gonna yell
tell
at me.
us.
Time.
You're not telling me.
Time.
That's the board. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my soldiers with me next time. So I will. Lock and loaded. Lock and loaded. I bet you that.
Lock and loaded. Did you just threaten me? Bye.
All right, so for those of you who might not have been able to make out just what this piece of work was saying, I'll just read it for you here. For those of you who got an issue with critical race theory equity, this is something I fight for my children. How dare you come out here and talk about the things that my daddy and my grandparents went through, the lynching, the oppression, Jim Crow, and my kids are still being afflicted by this. How? Seriously, explain that to me. How? How are you and your children still being afflicted by this today? Explain that to me. Explain to me how it is so bad that it justifies you going in front of a room full of other parents and saying what? And saying, I got over 1,000 soldiers ready to go. I'll bring my soldiers with me next time, locked and loaded. Explain to me how you are so afflicted that behavior is justified. Explain to me how you are so afflicted in a country and in a time where white people, white students, white young students have to lie on their college applications about being minority just so that they can get into these colleges, right? Right? Explain to me how after a summer, right, of being told by the media that these parents in these school board meetings who stand against critical race theory are threatening school board members, and they're akin to domestic terrorism, to the point that the DOJ is actually launching investigations into parents who are speaking out at these school board meetings, particularly against critical race theory and pornography in the school system. After an entire summer of that, how you can get up there and threaten an entire room full of parents who stand against critical race theory in the knowledge that you're not going to be held accountable for that. You're not going to be punished for that. There's not going to be any media coverage of this. And if there is, they'll call you a hero. They will call you a champion for equality and all the things righteous in this world. Explain to me how you are afflicted when we live in this reality. You know what? I'm going to say something here that is a little controversial, I suppose. If you are a minority living in America today, you are not oppressed. You have the same chance and the same choice as everyone else. The chance and the choice to do the best you can, to be the best you can, to live up to your potential. Okay? And critical race theory spits in the eye of that notion. Critical race theory teaches you that you are entitled to everything under the sun. And if you don't get it, it's because of people with a shade of skin like mine. That it's my fault if you fail to live up to your damn potential. All right? And that pisses me off. It pisses me off because that ideology is racist as hell. It breeds racism and it breeds unbelievable arrogance. right? And it takes a tremendous amount of arrogance to get up there in front of this school board meeting and say that you and your children are being afflicted in the same way that your daddy and your granddaddy were under Jim Crow. What kind of unbelievable jackassery is that? Honest to God. What was it? Was it like a month ago? Two minority girls, right? They threw out 2 white guys in a study room because they had a Police Lives Matter sticker on their thing. And they said, this is our space. This is our space. You're not allowed here. You're not one of us. You know, I've mentioned it before. Yeah, a race war seems to be on the horizon with crap like this. And how could it not be? How could it not be when people are threatening with 1,000 soldiers locked and ready to go against anyone who stands against me? When people are being thrown out of buildings because of the color of their skin, how can we not be on the verge of a race war? I mean, honest to God, is it Winsome Sears saying, Winsome Sears, the newly elected Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, she came out the other day and said that she's tired of the rhetoric and politicians not letting racial wounds heal, right? And she's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. There is a contingent of people, there is a group of people in this country who do not want to let the past be, who do not want to move forward in the sun and write a new chapter for themselves, for their children, and for their children's children, who are hell-bent on looking to, granted, legitimate transgressions of the past in order to justify their arrogance and their anger today. And that is a dangerous combination. That is a dangerous combination when you have the media, when you have a government turning a blind eye to somebody making overt threats against anyone who disagrees with them politically about the kind of education their children should have. Meanwhile, sicking the DOJ on parents who choose to say, no, my child is not an oppressor because they're white. Or no, my child is not a victim because they're not white. Okay? My child has the same rights as everyone else guaranteed to them under the Constitution of the United States. My child has the same chance and the same opportunities and the same choices as everyone else to do something great. And to teach them otherwise is wrong. It's fundamentally wrong on a moral level. And to say that they don't have those options because of the color of their skin, not because there's any legitimate discrimination being propagated in our justice system, not because we have laws on the books right now saying you cannot succeed, you're not allowed to do this because of the color of your skin. We don't have that anymore, right? And so we're just teaching kids that even though those laws aren't there, even though those systems aren't there anymore, that they still don't have what it takes because of the color of their skin. That is evil. That is absolutely evil. It is absolutely wrong. And it's absolutely what leads to crap like this. Honest to God, how did we get here? How did we get here? 2020, right? 60 years since the civil rights movement. And now, again, we're back to throwing people out of buildings because of the color of their skin. We're back to threatening people with militant action if they espouse a set of beliefs that we don't like. On matters of race and on other matters as well. I mean, you know, I get real tired talking about the race thing, and it just seems to be something that keeps coming up and coming up and coming up. And it's something I'm probably going to have to keep on talking about because it's going to be relevant and newsworthy, right? But honest to God, I get sick and damn tired of it. I get sick and damn tired of seeing crap like this. And I get sick and damn tired of seeing people so unbelievably ignorant and arrogant to say that that their position today in 2021 is akin to somebody who was black and was living in the Deep South in the 1950s. It is not. You are not oppressed. You are a jackass, and that is a fact. In any event, that's all the time we have for today on the Woke is Broke podcast. We'll be back with more later on, but in the meantime, I'm your host, Joshua Stanko, saying stay safe, stay informed, and for the love of God, don't be blaming other people for where you are and aren't in life. Take some accountability. Do the best you can. Make the most of the time and the opportunities afforded to you. And yeah, if you blame other people for you not being where you want to be in life because of the color of their skin, you might just be a racist. Who knew? Anyways, we'll catch you next time.